to the HockeyNorth Podcast. I'm going to be your host today, Chris. First time on the pod. I'm happy to be here with you guys discussing some hockey, the HockeyNorth Athletes, and all of that. It should be a lot of fun, and I'm happy to get into it with you guys. First off today, we're going to be discussing some Junior A and Junior B stats with Brendan. Then we're going to be shining the spotlight onto the HockeyNorth Athletes we have. And then finally, we're going to discuss the Cariboo Hockey this weekend, how the teams did, and shine a spotlight on some of the players that had a big weekend. So, Brendan, all yours, buddy.
First off, we'll start. Thank you very much, Chris. In the Alberta Junior Hockey League is Decker Moinchin, former Cariboo Cougar, getting his first AJHL goal, as well as a helper in 11-4 Spruce Grove Saints victory over the Whitecourt Wolverines on Wednesday. On Friday, Tyson Smith picked up a 14-save victory against the Calgary Canucks in a 4-3 overtime victory in that one. So another former Cariboo Cougar getting a win in net. Also, former Cariboo Cougar and Merritt Centennial Prince George product Brophy Dunn, a member of Spruce Grove. Down in the BCHL, Prince George Spruce Kings opened up their home schedule on Friday and Saturday, and wouldn't you know it, Cariboo Cougar graduate John Harrington with 2 goals and 4 points in a home split against the Vernon Vipers. Lyndon Mackel pointless in 2 games, while Jordan Fairley, another Cariboo Cougar graduate, 16 saves on 18 shots and a 4-2 victory over the Vernon Vipers on Friday. Of course, the Spruce Kings falling 5-1 on Saturday against those same Vipers. Taking a look at Fairley's numbers, their top 3 in the BCHL, 1.33 goals against average, 9.45 save percentage. Taking a look at the Island Division, Brady McIsaac, former Cariboo Cougar, pointless in a 5-4 loss for the Alberni Valley Bulldogs against the Powell River Kings. Diego Johnson of Fort St. James, 4 points in 4 games so far this season with the Merritt Centennials. Quinn Disher of Fort St. John, 4 points in 4 games with the Trail Smoke Eaters. And Aiden Reeves, former Prince George Cougar, Prince George Spruce King, as well as Cariboo Cougars, pointless in 4 games with the West Kelowna Warriors. He is the captain in West Kelowna. Taking a look at the KIJHL, Kevin Unruh, 3 goals in 4 games so far with the Beaver Valley Nighthawks. Former Cariboo Cougar netminder Jasper Tate, 3-0 so far with the Nelson Leafs, 1.33 goals against average and a 9.58 save percentage. Quinnell's Jack Henderson, 3 assists in 2 games for the Osoyoos Coyotes. Jake McCauley of Kitimat, 2 points in 3 games with the Princeton Posse. That's how it looks along the AJ. And in the Vancouver Island Junior Hockey League, Prince George's Sean Meehan of Prince George has 2 assists so far in 5 games with the Campbell River Storm. And last but not least, Chase Pacheco, 8 points in 6 games for the Port Alberni Bombers. That's your Junior A and Junior B wrap-up for all things Hockey North related.
Awesome. That's good stuff. Good to see our people from up north are doing well in their respective leagues in Alberta and all over BC. That's great to see. Hopefully we can get more athletes from the north in there putting up numbers and really doing well across the junior leagues. So, John, I'm going to send it over to you, buddy. What do you got?
All right, we're going to take a dive into our HockeyNorth Athletes from the WHL this past week and see how they're doing. So we're going to start off here with Kelowna Rockets forward Scott Cousins, who has 2 games played so far this over the weekend against Prince George Cougars. Only had 1 shot on goal for both those contests there. So then we'll move on to Seattle Thunderbirds winger Nico Majatovic, who had 1 game played with 1 assist, plus 2 with 3 shots on goal. For total of 1 goal, 2 assists, and 3 points on the season so far in 2 games. And then we got Prince George Cougar Caden Brow, who squared off in 2 games against the Cousins and the Rockets this past weekend and had 1 assist and 2 shots on goal over 2 games, and a total of 2 assists and 4 games played on the season. And then we'll take a little dive into our other players from the region, northern region here, and we'll start off with Tanner Molendijk, who is McBride BC product, defenseman for the Saskatoon Blades, who played 2 games with 1 assist on the season with plus 3 and 4 shots on goals. And then Prince George product Miguel Marcus with 2 games played and 0 points on the season so far with 1 shot on goal, -2. Still early in the season though, lots of time to do some damage. And then Chetwynd BC boy Hayden Smith with 2 games played, no points so far in the season with 1 goal and -2 to start. And then Lethbridge played in just 1 game over the weekend, so for Miguel and Hayden to get going into their 2022-23 seasons here. And then we also have Prince George product Fisher O'Brien with 2 points over the weekend coming from Friday and a 6-3 win over Scott Cousins' Kelowna Rockets with the one game-winning goal and an assist in his first multi-point game of the season, total of 2 points in 4 games to start the season so far. So good luck for him. And that's pretty much it we have for all the Northern Region Hockey North athlete coverage until next week.
Awesome, John. Thank you for that. So definitely some work being done by the Hockey North athletes across the dub there. Obviously, some guys would want to get their numbers up a bit, so it's still early. Lots of time for them. We obviously want those guys to be shining in the dub. So yeah. Now, Tyler, what do you got for us, buddy?
All right. It's been a big weekend here for the Cariboo Hockey program as we can take a look at all the teams that were in action over the weekend. A few teams were on the road down in the Lower Mainland, and a few Lower Mainland teams came back here to Prince George, and that made for a couple home openers. The U18 AAA Cariboo Cougars kicked it off with a real turnaround from their season opener when they played Fraser Valley last weekend, where they dropped both those contests pretty convincingly. It wasn't a good start to the year, and they knew the task coming back to Prince George. The home opener, it was the buddy check for Jesse Knight for men's mental health awareness, which is always good. They wore their special green jerseys, and they won that first game in fashion. There was they were down 2-0 to start that game, and went into the third period, clawed back, and Josh Sale drove home the overtime winner to get the 3-2 win, and that carried in over to the next game this morning that the Cariboo Cougars played at 11 a.m. where they won 3-2 and they were in the driver's seat the whole game. So really good showing there for the U18 AAA Cariboo Cougars, getting their win percentage back to .500. And then also at home for their home opener was the U15 AAA Cariboo Cougars. And for them, they unfortunately did not fare as they had hoped. They dropped both games on Saturday and Sunday by a deficit of 3-1, and they're going to be looking to regroup as they head forward into the next weekend. And then for the Northern Capitals, they were on the road, and they were at their version of the showcase, which U15 was at last weekend, and they didn't quite fare as well as they were hoping to. I'll pull out the totals here for everybody. They start off the showcase weekend with a 2-2 tie against the Greater Vancouver Comets. Then followed up by a 4-0 loss to Fraser Valley. In that one, Prince George goaltender Peyton Planetta faced 72 shots and only let 4 in. So a huge congratulations to her for a huge outing there to start off her tournament there for the showcase. And then the Capitals played the Vancouver Island Seals. They won that one 2-1. And then, they lost that one 2-1. And then followed up with another loss, 8-1 to Fraser Valley. So not quite the showcase that the Northern Capitals were looking for, but nonetheless, it's time to regroup and look ahead to better days. And now last but not least, the U17 AAA Cougars. They started off with a 6-5 loss to the Valley West Giants, a very high-scoring game, tightly contested, and really, it was the last shot that won, and the Valley West Giants took that contest. The next day, the U17 AAA Cariboo Cougars, they got the revenge with a convincing 7-3 victory. And so that'll do it for Cariboo Hockey Weekly.
Awesome, Tyler. Thank you for that. So not a bad weekend for Cariboo Hockey. Some teams did well, some not so much. But like I said, we're early in the season. Lots of work for these teams to do, and we definitely look forward to seeing what they can do throughout the season, and hopefully bring some championships to Northern BC. Before I wrap things up, guys, anybody else have anything they want to add or talk about?
Also want to send a congratulations to Rachel Lowen of the Northern Capitals for being the second Caps player to secure an NCAA scholarship over the week. Rachel Lowen, of course, the captain now of the Northern Capitals due to that roster influx from the season. Obviously, no Brooklyn Hutchings, no Haley Armstrong, no Maria Ayer this year. So Lowen, one of the few returning veterans for this team. And as I got the article in front of me here, of course, Rachel Lowen, of course, committing to that NCAA Division I scholarship to play women's hockey at the Niagara Purple Eagles. So Lowen, 3 goals, 7 assists in 29 regular season games last season, helping the Caps securing that second overall seed in the BC Elite Hockey League's U18 Female AAA League. And I would imagine more than ever that Lowen will be a key cog on that team, as well as that defense core, being the captain in her final season here with the Northern Capitals this year. So congratulations to Rachel on securing that NCAA Division I scholarship, and I'm sure in the not too distant future, I or someone else from our Hockey North team will be catching up with her on that accomplishment, as well as her thoughts and expectations on the season ahead.
All right, that's awesome. Yeah, like you said, big congratulations to her. Div 1 scholarship, that's awesome. So hopefully she can continue to succeed and make that jump to the next level. So anyone else got anything else they would like to add?
I think that's all for me for today's episode.
We're all good. All righty, guys. So thank you so much for listening to the Hockey North podcast. A little bit of a shorter one today, kind of just to catch up on what's been going on. We'll get a lot more topics and stuff going in the next couple of weeks, but we obviously want to keep you guys in touch with what's going on in the North here, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the listen, and we look forward to getting after it with you guys next week. So thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you guys later.
I need to know.